This week from Hollywood, we take you to the premiere of the Sheep Detectives in New York City. And then we take you down the street to the premiere of Lorne. Next, Madonna's missing a few important items, her clothes. We'll tell you more. And Joe Jonas has a new status, Instagram official. Plus, Justin Theroux and Nicole Bryden-Bloom have a huge announcement, and it's pretty cute. And then we shine the spotlight on the Sheep Detective star, Bryan Cranston. All of these updates and more are coming up. But first, let's take a look at the red carpet. First up, we take you to the premiere of the Sheep Detectives in New York City.
Officer Derrick, I am George Hardy's lawyer. He wrote a will. In the nighttime stories, the people in the will are always the suspects.
That man had nothing.
Well, actually, there is $30 million. And we have our motive.
The cast and crew had a sheepishly good time on the red carpet. Hugh Jackman was a bit touched.
I just fell in love. I fell in love with not only my character, George, the shepherd, who's in love with sheep way more than humans. He understands sheep a lot more, and he's beloved by the sheep. But everything about it, I just thought it was funny, and it's so much fun being a murder mystery. But ultimately, I think what you walk away with, and when I read the script, was just the heart of it. I cried reading the script. I was just like, which is very rare for me. I just thought it was like a perfect, Craig Mason had written a perfect screenplay.
Regina Hall had a special response to the script.
I play Cloud. I'm one of the sheep who helped solve the crime. I just read the story. I'm a big fan of Craig. I've worked with Craig before. And I read the script, and I just thought that I just loved it. It made me so happy. It was so interesting. It was well written, and then the cast involved was so incredible that I just wanted to be a part of it, so yeah.
Brett Goldstein shared his experiences with us next.
I hope to have a really lovely time, and I think there's a thing in it, it's about something. It is actually about something deeper, so I hope they have a lovely time and they feel slightly better about the world.
Sheep can do things. In fact, we can do anything.
I want to bash it. I want to bash it so bad. Yeah!
What's with them?
Next, we take you to the premiere of Lorne in the Big Apple.
He's going to have notes that are impossible to understand.
It will be clingy. It has to be in beats.
You'll know it's not playing the way Lorne thought it was going to play when he does this.
It feels like he's blowing your soul out of your body.
The table has been turned on Saturday Night Live creator Lorne Michaels.
I haven't seen the film. I'm going to watch it for the first time now. But, you know, nothing I can do about it, so I trust Morgan, and, you know, it was done while we were in the middle of doing the 50th anniversary, so it has that level of other stuff to it.
Comedian Jeremy Colhane is a new addition to the Saturday Night Live ensemble.
I'm trying to think of what exactly he said to me one of the first nights, but it was great. I think what I really learned from him is that I have the job already. He always gets... He's so nice when people are like new. It's like, you got it. Just lean in, and I think something I've learned from him is how to keep going and keep the bar raised for your whole life. So, yeah, that's about it.
Then we checked in with actor-comedian Robert Smigel.
He's a mystery when you meet him initially, but the more I worked at the show and got to know him, I was very charmed and loved him, and he stood out because he gave writers more power and ultimately more confidence than any other producer had in television up to that point.
All of life is reinvention, so to be understood, not gonna happen.
So, you gonna retire?
Hey. That was mine.
Surprise! Madonna was the secret guest performer on Weekend 2 of Coachella alongside topliner Sabrina Carpenter. And something strange happened after their performance. Madonna's clothes went missing. Turns out Madonna's dress, jacket, and corset, all vintage items from her personal archive, have disappeared. The 67-year-old is now making a plea to regain the items taken from her, writing, "These aren't just clothes, they are part of my history." Madonna is offering a reward for the safe return of her items. It's official. Joe Jonas has just gone Instagram official with model Tatiana Gabriella. The announcement came nearly 2 years after he and Sophie Turner finalized their divorce. Joe and Sophie share 2 children together, daughters Willa, 5, and Delphine, 3. Justin Theroux and his actress wife Nicole Bryden-Bloom are in paradise following the announcement of their baby boy. Justin, 54, and Nicole, 32, shared, "We are so in love," and their famous friends are chiming in too. Justin's ex-wife Jennifer Aniston hit the like button, while Nina Dobrev commented, "He's perfect." Katie Couric and Brenda Song were also among the couple supporters. The lovebirds were introduced by mutual friends in 2023 before tying the knot at a star-studded beach wedding in Mexico 1 year later. Congratulations to the happy family. Miles Teller has something important to say. He is not retiring from acting anytime soon. Rumors began circulating that the Whiplash star was leaving the business because he could afford to stop working with a portion of the $325 million sale of his investment, the Long Drink Company. But not so fast. Miles wouldn't say how much of the sale he'd entertain, but he did let out that he could afford to be pickier now with acting roles. The Top Gun Maverick star said he'd also like to produce movies featuring underdog stories. The $325 million deal also counted Jay-Z as an investor. Comedian Melissa McCarthy was a recent guest star on Law & Order Special Victims Unit, and boy did she deliver the jokes. The Gilmore Girls alum, 55, chronicled the moment she surprised Mariska Hargitay with a hair transformation. "Look at this mullet." The Tammy star rocked the 80s-inspired hairdo, and the vibe on set was comedic timing at its best. She captioned the photo, #Mariska, and we can certainly see why. Megan Thee Stallion has split from boyfriend Klay Thompson after less than 1 year of dating. The news follows reports that the NBA star was stepping out with someone else. The Savage rapper, 31, said there was no real path forward and that she will be taking the time to prioritize herself. Megan and Klay made their red carpet debut last July at the inaugural Pete and Thomas Foundation Gala in New York City. This week, we shine the spotlight on the Sheep Detectives star Bryan Cranston. Cranston gained prominence in 2000 playing Hal in the Fox sitcom Malcolm in the Middle. In 2012, Ben Affleck's star Argo called and Bryan answered. And we can't forget Little Miss Sunshine and Saving Private Ryan. He also impressively portrayed screenwriter Dalton Trumbo in Trumbo, which earned him an Oscar nomination. The actor achieved international fame with the leading role of Walter White in the drama series Breaking Bad, in which he portrays a school chemistry teacher who becomes a methamphetamine manufacturer after being diagnosed with cancer. Bryan also starred in the movies Drive, Contagion, Asteroid City, and in the drama series Your Honor. Now he stars in the family classic The Sheep Detectives. The thematic themes of the film are universal.
Friendships, trust, faith. Those are all really strong themes to explore, and it's also tolerance and acceptance of people, or animals in this case, that may be different than you, and what you can learn from them.
Everyone has a favorite scene, right? We had to find out.
The scene where he's describing to the others what God is and what a church is, and in his inimitable way, I like the idea that he feels he clearly knows what he's saying. And obviously he clearly doesn't know, but it's the interpretation of it. It's almost childlike.
Next, we learned more about his approach to the character of Sebastian.
Basically, it's his feeling that he was always an outcast, that he himself felt that he was an outsider and not within the group. And that's a lonely feeling to have. So you just think of those times when you didn't feel like you were part of a group or that you were being excluded in any situation? Could be family, could be at school, could be friends. This is called a church where someone named God lives. Well, it's a bit confusing. God is a shepherd.
Tommy Lee Jones is on board to star in a new project by Academy Award filmmaker Brian Helgeland. The pic, titled Outside Man, also stars Ice Cube. In the film, Ice Cube is released from prison after serving time for mob-related activity when he meets a retired Texas Ranger who shows him the ropes as a free man. An unlikely friendship begins, but their bond is jeopardized when both men's pasts threaten to catch up with them. Outside Man makes its way into production later this year. Emmy Award winner Chris Dowd has inked a deal to star in a coming-of-age comedy named Bender, shooting in Ireland this summer. Comedian Bill Burr joins him on the endeavor. Bender is being sold as a cross between Superbad and Derry Girls. Taking place in Dublin's late 70s post-punk scene, the story unfolds amid the frenzy surrounding an impending papal visit. Pluribus Helmer Adam Bernstein will direct. Descendants star Rita Ora has joined the cast of Amazon MGM Studios dramedy Honeymoon with Harry. She'll star opposite Kevin Costner, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Sarah Pidgeon. Rita returns to work with Amazon after starring alongside Henry Cavill and Sterling K. Brown in their Voltron film. Glenn Ficarra and John Requa are directing from a script by Dan Fogelman. We hear production will commence next year. This week on our Hollywood Box Office Countdown, we're giving you the top 5 films of the week. Here we go. The 5th ranking film at the box office this week was The Drama with $2.6 million.
Emma, true love is complicated.
Sorry, I was just trying to do your stupid joke thing.
It's about acceptance, radical acceptance.
Why are you acting like you've never done anything bad?
The 4th ranking film at the box office this week was Lee Cronin's The Mummy with $5.5 million.
What was our daughter doing in a 3,000-year-old sarcophagus?
She just needs our care and lots of love.
How many others were found?
57.
The 3rd ranking film at the box office this week was Project Hail Mary with $12.1 million.
You know who you are. You're gonna do great.
I conquered Zero G in 5 hours.
Object approaching.
Oh my God.
The 2nd ranking film at the box office this week was Super Mario Galaxy Movie with $20.5 million. And the number 1 ranking film at the box office this week was Michael with $95 million.
I knew you were different the moment you were born. You have a very special life. And Mother always told me, be careful who you love.
I believe music can change the world. Spread love, joy, and peace.
Hollywood birthdays this week have our celebrities turning anywhere from 31 to 93. Feud legend Jessica Lange turned 77. Supermodel Amanda Kerr turned 43. Star Trek icon George Takei turned 89. Speak No Evil star James McAvoy turned 47. Punk rocker Iggy Pop turned 79. Who's the Boss alum Tony Danza turned 75. American Horror Story alum Patti LuPone turned 77. The Way Home star Andie MacDowell turned 68. Rapper Machine Gun Kelly turned 36. The Shining star Jack Nicholson turned 89. Peacemaker star John Cena turned 49. Model Gigi Hadid turned 31. Harold and Kumar star Cal Penn turned 49. One Day at a Time alum Valerie Bertinelli turned 66. Country star Kelly Clarkson turned 44. Music legend Barbra Streisand turned 84. Terms of Endearment star star Shirley MacLaine turned 92. Wicked star Jonathan Bailey turned 38. Scarface star Al Pacino turned 86. Palm Royale star Carol Burnett turned 93. Magic Mike star Channing Tatum turned 46. Fast and Furious star Jordana Brewster turned 46. And Bridget Jones star Renee Zellweger turned 57. Be sure to tune in next week for more glitz, glamour, and news from Hollywood Newsfeed.